Hey guys, I'm Polygon, and I know what you're thinking. Why the heck does my pen have an entire in-progress chess game on the back of it? And my response to you is checkmate. The early 2000s toy industry produced some of the strangest toy gimmicks you can possibly think of. But recently I found out about these mysterious gizmos known as board game pens, and they left me utterly dumbfounded. Somehow they condensed entire functional board games on the back of pens. It activates that childish wonder of seeing two completely unrelated things mashed together, and it somehow magically works. But like, you can't tell me you're able to cram the entirety of Monopoly on the back of a pen. There's just no way. So in my endless pursuit of doohickey knowledge, I bought a huge pile of as many board game pens I could find, and we'll be playtesting and reviewing them to find out why they even exist in the first place. Do the board games actually work? Are they any fun? Can you even use them as pens? Maybe they just work as a good fidget toy or something, I don't know. Well, after examining these doodads, they really seem like such useless items. My first thought as a kid would be, oh my god, I could finally play Operation while I'm bored in class, as if the teacher wouldn't immediately take it away and consider it a distraction. And imagine how incredibly easy it would be to lose the pieces. If you really wanted to play Connect 4 wherever you go, just download it on your iPhone 4 or play on the DS. No need for this board game pen shenanigans. And on top of that, they're probably not even good pens either, because some of them look really uncomfortable. So both halves of its entire functionality are kinda useless. But with all that out of the way, let's dive into the confusing world of board game pens. Although not all of them are even board games. Some of them are just iconic toys turned into pens. So I'll just split this up into 3 main sections, starting out with the board games. First up on the list, we got the iconic Connect 4 turned into a pen. Over the years, the internet has created nearly infinite absurd versions of this game that don't exist. But the Connect 4 pen edition is something I never would have expected to be real. Look at this gizmo, oh my god. So to use it as a pen, you have to turn this thing. And this is how it looks to use it. As you can see, it definitely works. But to actually play the game, we gotta take out the board. All the pieces already fell out. What the hell? And now we have a fully functional Connect 4 game. Let me see if I can get the pieces. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so tiny. Okay, wait, that works. That worked. And then there we have it. A whole Connect 4 game right in there. And also, while you're playing a game, you can't use it as a pen because everything just falls out if you try to use it as a pen while you're playing a game. The first board game pen has already set the stage for how inconvenient these doohickeys are gonna be. Like, the only way to play the game is to stop using the pen and set up the board. The gimmick kind of falls apart when you can't fluidly switch between both modes. It's one or the other. If you're lucky enough to not instantly lose all the pieces, of course. But the fact that it is a fully functional Connect 4 game is still kinda cool. So let's see how they attempted to condense Operation into a pen. The infamous board game about doing freaking surgery with exciting precision gameplay. I am absolutely terrified of how this precision gameplay is gonna feel like when it's all tiny on the back of a pen. Well, there's only one way to find out. Yeah. Come on. Okay, let's see if this works. Come on. Wait, oh my god. That actually freaked me out. It made a little beep. What the frick? This is impossible. Okay, and there's heart is just dangling out now so you don't lose the piece. Oh my god. Why does it actually freak me out whenever it beeps? Get the dog. No. I am doing such a terrible job right now. No. As you can see, it's physically impossible to play without him beeping at you. But it's still kind of amazing that it genuinely works, and the pieces being connected by string is genius. Finally, you aren't at a constant risk of losing all the pieces. It also looks really funny how they just dangle around when you're done. And let's not forget that this is a pen as well, because it's so top heavy to the point where it's terrible to use. But coming up next, we have the Yahtzee pen, which is one of the more lazier designs, because it's basically just a container with the game inside it. On the inside, there's some dice and this cute little mini scorecard that's way too small to actually use. Tiny little scorecard, so cute. I tried to simulate a round of Yahtzee, and it's so funny trying to write on this comically small scorecard. Especially because after you take off the top of the pen, it's left as a little nub, which is very stupid looking. I don't know, it's way more worth it to use this gizmo as an emergency Skittle container instead of this freaking mini Yahtzee tomfoolery. But moving on to board games with actual boards, let's check out the Trouble pen. I hate opening these freaking packages. Hell yeah, Trouble board game pen. So when you're normally using the pen, the rest of the board just flops out. But once it comes out, you can lock it in place. And there we go, the Trouble board game. The most iconic part of the Trouble board game is the satisfying dice popper mechanism, which is adapted magnificently on the pen. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's a really good fidget, what the hell? And there's a little dice in there, which does actually work. But no more of that. There is actually a whole board game you can play here with even more microscopic pieces. All right, let me pop it. Oh no, team! No! Come on, no! We have a few casualties, but we'll continue. All right, all of yellow team has died. Time to move on to red team instead. And red has died. Okay, there's one player left. I'm fine. I lost all the pieces already. What the hell? The fact that it is technically possible to play the original board game is kind of insane, but I don't know why you ever would. Trying to win would be the least of your worries, because the real challenge is trying not to lose all the pieces. The dice popper alone carries this gizmo. Like, it's genuinely an S-tier fidget toy just out of nowhere. I pretty much use it every day now, I'm not joking. But as a board game and a pen, it's awful at both. But just you wait, it gets even more absurd, because what if we take the entirety of Scrabble and condense it into a pen? I have no idea how they would manage to pull this off, so let's go and find out.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Alright, so how do we actually get this to work? Oh my god, Scrabble! Okay, there's a whole Scrabble board, I guess. I can't freaking open it. Oh, finally. They're in a little bag. What the hell? The little pieces. And inside this little bag, there's like 100 tiny magnetic letter pieces. This is insane. Naturally, I tried to spell a word on the board, but it was just so frustrating. I had to use gosh darn tweezers that are so small. Ooh, look at that. I got a double letter score. Hell yeah. Please, just stay in place, please. There. I did it. I spelled my first word, burger. The sheer effort they put into making Scrabble actually work at this scale on the back of a pen is astonishing. And it's surprisingly one-to-one. There's the correct amount of letter pieces, and the board is exactly the same, double letter scores and all. All that effort for nothing because ain't nobody is actually gonna play it like this. It's comical how small the pieces are. Truly a perfect showcase of how pointless this board game pen endeavor is. But the magnetic pieces shenanigans don't end there because now they put chess on the back of a pen. It's so hard to open. Oh my god. Open already. Use the lock mechanism. The little 3D chess pieces are so adorable, but setting up the board at this scale took forever. I spent a good 5 minutes straight doing this. I'm so scared they're gonna fall off. The magnets are not that strong. Oh no! Anyways, I'll just play the chess game like this. Let me move my pawn over there. Move the horse. Woo! Hell yeah, I'm playing chess. Sadly, the pathetic magnets just aren't strong enough to hold up the pieces, and your fingers are so massive compared to them, so every move you make puts everyone nearby at a risk of falling over. It is pretty funny that you can just have an in-progress chess game on the back of your pen though, but there's no way you can play a full game without knocking everything over. But all these board game pens got me thinking, if they're able to make stuff like chess or Scrabble work on a pen, what else could they do? What's the most complicated game they could possibly shove onto a pen? Would they dare to go as far as Monopoly itself? Finally, I present to you the Monopoly pen. Never mind. This doohickey right here is actually a Monopoly pinball pen. Well, if I can't play Monopoly, I guess I'll just do pinball. They decided it would be a good idea to specifically combine Monopoly, pinball, and a pen. This is such a randomly generated thingamabob. What the frick? I am so disappointed. Oh, and by the way, here's how ridiculous it looks to use it as a pen. This is the most uncomfortable one so far. So we got these mechanisms in the back as a little stand. Okay. It doesn't even work. It's not powerful enough to hit the ball. It doesn't even shoot the ball. This doesn't even work. Wait, there's a ball in there. I can't do anything. This is a freaking scam. This apparatus is just a non-functional piece of junk. It's pretty much impossible to get anything resembling gameplay out of it, because the balls are so light that they don't move around whatsoever, so you just can't do anything. Wait a second, is that Monopoly again? Don't tell me the Monopoly pen is real! Finally, I present to you the actual Monopoly pen.
Ooh, I'm so excited to play Monopoly. Yippee!
Huh? Hello?
How do you get the board out?
I'm getting it. Yeah. Hell yeah. Wait, chat, I've been lied to yet again. Chat, I'm getting scammed. It's not real. No. The pieces on the inside are just decoration. You're not even able to get them out. No. Chat, we've been lied to yet again. This pen is actually a scam. Like, for real a scam. This ain't no Monopoly board game pen. It's a Monopoly themed pen pretending to be a board game pen. They were unironically selling this thing right next to actual functional board game pens at the store just to trick you into buying it. And they had the audacity to include a mini board for no reason. You can't even do anything with this. Anyways, I've had enough of these board game pens, so let's go even deeper into the rabbit hole with the creative game pens. These are the pens where they adapted tiny versions of iconic creativity toys, such as the Etch-a-Sketch pen. I gotta rant about this thing for a second, because if you think about it, this is the dumbest pen gimmick yet. What's the point of attaching a nerfed version of drawing to a pen? It's just so obviously redundant. Why would you draw with the Etch-a-Sketch when you could just draw with the pen? It almost feels offensive to the Etch-a-Sketch, attaching him to the better version of drawing. Also, Etch-a-Sketches are already small. You can just put one in your pocket. No need for this attached to a pen shenanigans. But instead of giving up there, they doubled down on this by releasing multiple different Etch-a-Sketch pens for some reason. There's a few different colors and even a SpongeBob edition. Let me get this straight. They decided to combine an Etch-a-Sketch, a pen, and SpongeBob into one item. You can't make this up.
Oh my god, it's so funny looking. Oh, he looks like he's made of cheese. It's so weird using his hands instead of a knob. Like this is so uncomfortable. He's just staring at me while I'm drawing stuff.
My favorite genre of SpongeBob merch is when they stretch his body into the item. So as much as I don't like the idea of an Etch-a-Sketch pen, I appreciate this far more whimsical version. And the fact that they replaced the knobs with 3D SpongeBob hands is the cherry on top. That is so dumb looking. Yet even after that, they are still not done because they also made a Mickey Mouse edition where his gloves are the knobs. And even a Disney Princess edition for some reason. These are truly the epitome of randomly generated doohickeys. There's just no rhyme or reason to this board game pen chaos. But now let's continue our journey by attaching an entire light bright to a pen. If you don't know what the light bright is, it's this doodad from the 70s with a bunch of colorful pegs, and you can make silly designs that light up on the board. So let's see how they condense this entire contraption into a pen.
So here's the compartment they come out of. Oh my god, they're so small. Oh no, I already lost one. Okay, well let's try to make a cute design. Oh my god, that took so long. Now let's see how well they even stay on. Oh my... My masterpiece is ruined. But now we obviously need to test how good the light is, because there is actually a light in here. All right, and now let's turn it on. Wow! It's kind of only on the bottom part. That's such a pathetic light. What the frick? And then I can write stuff down while I have the design on. Hell yeah.
As usual, this pales in comparison to the real thing. There's just not enough pieces or colors to make any design that's worth the effort. And having such microscopic transparent pieces that you're supposed to use in the dark is a recipe for disaster. Especially when they don't even stay on the pen. But next we have two iconic building toys turned into pens. The Lincoln Logs and Tinker Toy. Starting out with the classic Lincoln Logs, the relaxing toy where you can build whatever log cabin fortress you can think of. But now it's incredibly small and stored inside of a pen.
Ah, oh my. And it's basically just a pen with a tub on the back. Get it off. How do I... Ah! No, all the pieces just come out. What the hell?
So I wanted to build the house from the picture, but it did not go well.
Get the piece for the roof. Oh my god, careful. Oh, dude, I don't want this to fall. No! No! Look at my beautiful creation. It's so pretty. The tiny little house. There's what it's supposed to look like, and this is mine.
This tiny little shack was a freaking nightmare to build. Such a far cry from the satisfying gameplay of the original toy. The fact that they're so small means one wrong move and it's over. You have to be so careful. And the pen itself is kinda lame because it's just a container. So once again, it's way more worth it to use it as a secret Skittle dispenser. But now let me introduce you to Tinker Toy, the iconic toy that lets you build whatever doohickey doodads you could dream of. So naturally, it's a great idea to condense all that into a pen.
Well, let's get all the pieces out. And once again, it's one of those that's just a container, so now you just have a tiny little pen. Alright, well I need to figure out something to build here. I don't really know what you're supposed to do with Tinker Toy. Come on. Ugh, I can't do this. No, it doesn't work. No. Wait, I broke one already. What? This is unbelievable how non-functional this stuff is.
This one turns out to be even worse than the Lincoln Logs, because you quite literally can't build anything. And the quality control is terrible, because some of the pieces genuinely just don't fit together. I kind of like how the pen looks though. It's shaped more like an actual pen, and it has a really satisfying color scheme. But you can't fit Skittles inside it, so I don't really know what the point is anymore. So let's check out the final creativity toy pen, the Play-Doh pen. This is one of the most random ideas I've seen in the whole video. Freaking Play-Doh? Really? Dude, the freaking Play-Doh pen? This is so stupid. Oh my god, look at this thing. What the hell? It's basically just a pen with a bunch of random gizmos attached to it. How does this even work? Wait, no way. You have to hold this thing down to even use it as a pen. This is the dumbest mechanism I've ever seen. It doesn't even stay there. You have to hold it down. What? The shape of this contraption is the farthest we have ever strayed from pens, and the mechanism to get the ballpoint out is completely useless. Most of the items so far have been like 40% pen, 60% toy, but this one's like 1% pen. This is ridiculous. Anyways, the package also came with an unopened Play-Doh tub from 2004. I was prepared for this to smell like my childhood, but I was quickly disappointed. Oh, ew. It has completely crystallized. I bought a new pack of Play-Doh so I can actually test this out, and yeah, you can play with Play-Doh, I guess. It's pretty much just a Play-Doh Swiss Army knife at this point, because it just has a bunch of random plastic attachments that I don't really know what to do with, especially this weird lever mechanism. Who actually desperately needs to switch between drawing and playing with Play-Doh? And after you're done playing, there's still Play-Doh stuck in all the crevices. It's awful. But now let's move on to the final section, which is just whatever random toys they could possibly think of to turn into pens. And first off, they put a weapon on a pen. What the frick? This time we're combining a Nerf gun and a pen. I can't believe they actually did this. This is so stupid. Oh wait, that's interesting. So this like bends around. We gotta extend this thing out, put the Nerf dart in. So imagine I'm just writing some stuff down with this ridiculous pen, and then bam! I can shoot someone with it. Pull it back like that, and then it's so weak though. The Skyliner didn't even budge. Write stuff down, and then anyways, the design itself is so bulky and absurd, I love it. What an insane looking gizmo. But if you still need to defend yourself while writing essays, they put yet another weapon on a pen with the Super Soaker pen. Arguably far more dangerous than the Nerf gun because of the sheer inconvenience of getting your paper wet. Obviously I had to fill it up and try it out, so here you go. Man, this drawing sucks. Hell yeah, Super Soaker pen. But like, what situation requires you to quickly switch between drawing and shooting water at someone? So here's my demonstration of what that would be like. Damn, that drawing sucks. I'm sopping wet now. Anyways, this dangerous device is honestly really well designed for some reason. They put so much effort into the 3D details to make it genuinely look like a mini Super Soaker. And the water squirting mechanism is not that bad. It holds a pretty good amount of water and goes kinda far. Easily the most intimidating pen ever. You gain so much aura using this. I highly recommend you sign your next job application with this thing, just so they know they'll get sprayed with water for not accepting it. But now let's move on to some more wholesome items, with the iconic barrel of monkeys turned into a pen. I really like how this one looks. It's shaped more like a normal pen, and it's got the iconic barrel in the middle, which looks just like the real version. On the inside, there's a bunch of little monkeys that look so freaking devious. I love them. If you don't know what the original game is, you basically just try to link up a bunch of monkeys by only holding the top one. So let's go ahead and see if the tiny version even works. Well, let's see if we can even do it. Oh wait, I got one. Oh my god, wait, I'm actually getting some. Look at me go! I got like 4 already. Wait, I actually got another one. I'm genuinely playing this game. Another one! I can't believe this is genuinely working. Oh my god, I got too tired. The gameplay is surprisingly functional at this scale. I did not expect that. Finally, one that actually works pretty well. As long as you don't lose the monkeys, of course. But with all that out of the way, we approach the mysterious final pen. Now watch as we combine Transformers, remote control cars, and a pen. This is the Transformers Bumblebee Mac Eraser pen, and like, this gizmo is insane. How far have we strayed from our original purpose? This video was about reviewing board games on pens, and here we are with a Transformers remote control car. What have we done? All right, moment of truth. Oh my god, it actually works. No way.
I'll just be writing some stuff down and then there's no turn button, there's just forward and reverse, and the reverse kind of makes him turn a little bit.
This pen is really as ridiculous as it gets. I'm remotely controlling a mini car with a freaking pen. And on top of all that, it's Transformers branded, which truly elevates it to the next level. Although unsurprisingly, the remote control aspect is pretty limited. You could only go forward and backwards, and the car is just so small. And the pen itself is so large and top heavy that it's impossible to write anything down. I do love the bubble compartment that you can store the car in though. But that's it for all the absurd pens I ended up actually buying. But the rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper. There's truly no end to this madness. There's an entire Bop It on the back of a pen. There's a freaking Beyblade spinner pen. They even put entire video games on pens like Frogger or Sudoku. And best of all, they made gambling pens with entire fully functional gambling LCD games on the back. The target audience being adults this time makes it way funnier. Just imagine a businessman playing poker on their pen when they're supposed to be signing contracts with it or something. Clearly this entire gimmick is just supposed to surprise you enough until you actually buy it, because literally none of these offer any actual value whatsoever. But the fact that they went through all that effort to make some of these games technically possible while being attached to a pen is really interesting. They're silly and colorful and absurd, so even though they're pretty terrible, I still appreciate what they tried to do here. All I know is that from now on, I will exclusively be signing contracts with the Trouble Pen, because I really like the dice bumper fidget. Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and comment down below what your favorite pen was. Okay, bye!